To Israel now, where police say a Palestinian rocket has launched from the Gaza Strip has killed a 70-year-old man near Tel Aviv. It's the first fatality inside Israel in 3 days of fighting. Earlier, the Israeli military killed 2 senior Islamic Jihad commanders during airstrikes on Gaza. 5 Palestinian militant leaders have now been killed this week, along with at least 23 other Palestinians.
Another night lit by the light of rockets from Gaza and Israeli air defences. Militant group Islamic Jihad kept up its barrage of rockets on Thursday, firing hundreds more towards Israel. While many were intercepted, one struck this apartment block in the central Israeli city of Rehovot, killing a 70-year-old man, wounding others, and leaving residents in shock.
I was at the hairdresser when the siren went on. It was a very long siren. And then we heard a huge boom, really loud, like it had fallen next to us. It was so scary. I'm still processing what happened.
The Israeli military also continued its airstrikes in the densely populated Gaza Strip throughout the day. Officials said yet more commanders of Islamic Jihad, designated a terrorist organization by Israel, the EU and others, were killed in the strikes.
Earlier, we eliminated the commander of the Islamic Jihad's missile division in Gaza. Now, an hour ago, we eliminated his deputy as well. As I have already said, anyone who attacks us risks their life and also anyone who replaces them. We're in the middle of the campaign, both offensive and defensive.
But it's not just militants who have been killed. Gaza's civilian population is also paying a heavy price, with young children among the dozens of Palestinians injured or killed since Tuesday. Many Gazans have been left feeling in constant danger.
We don't feel safe. Even at home, we don't feel safe. We go in and out of the house, but we're afraid. You could be going down the street when a rocket hits, and you wouldn't come back. We don't know what will happen to us or our children. It's a pity that this is happening to our people.
Unfortunately for civilians in both Gaza and Israel, with Egyptian efforts to broker an end to the bloodshed seemingly stalled, neither side looks set to stop its attacks.
DW correspondent Rebecca Ritters is covering the story for us. She's on the ground in the Israeli city of Ashkelon, just north of the Gaza Strip, and she joins us now from there. Rebecca, it's good to have you on the program. We've seen some of the worst violence in months in Israel right now. How is the situation where you are?
Well, Christine, overnight it's been relatively quiet. We saw the last rockets being fired from Gaza into Israeli territory, stopping at around about 10 p.m. last night. By this time yesterday, sirens were already whirring and the rockets were starting up, though today things are relatively quiet. Overnight there were a couple of IDF attacks hitting Islamic Jihad targets. That also one Palestinian was killed in those attacks, bringing the total death toll on the Gazan side to 30 in this latest flare-up. Yesterday also saw the first Israeli fatality during this kind of almost continuous volley of rockets that came yesterday afternoon, and in the evening one made its way to central Israel and hit a target around the Tel Aviv area, killing one person, as you heard in that report, and injuring several others. Most of the other rocket fire, though, that came over was intercepted by the IDF Iron Dome system. So yesterday we saw a lot more flare-up. Today, things calming down and quiet optimism, you know, sort of cautious hope for some kind of ceasefire agreement that might be agreed on today.
Egypt's been a frequent mediator between the sides. It is now trying to broker a ceasefire. Has there been any progress?
Yeah, Well, that's right. I mean, Egypt is, as you say, a key player in this. You've also got Qatar and the UN working to try and get both sides to agree to a ceasefire. There was already optimism as early as Wednesday, just about 18 hours after the hostilities began, that an agreement had been agreed to, rather a ceasefire had been agreed to, though that didn't come into fruition. The negotiating parties have been trying furiously since then. The main sticking point is that Islamic Jihad want Israel to stop these targeted killings of their top leadership in order to come to some agreement. Islamic Jihad definitely want to walk away from this with a ceasefire agreement, with some agreements on their side, with some kind of wins, if you will. And without that, it's unlikely that they're going to agree to anything. The Israelis looking more and more as if they will come to the party and want to agree to some kind of ceasefire. But, you know, it remains to be seen. It's a very tense and sensitive time, and it really, you know, these talks are ongoing. They've started up again in Cairo. Obviously, all sides wanting this to kind of calm down, but anything could happen still.
Right, that's Rebecca Ritters in Ashkelon. Appreciate your reporting. Thank you.